Baltimore, Maryland, the Radio on Fire studios. Catch us on www.radioonfire.com. Home of the Diamond K Morning Show. New episodes streamed daily at 9 a.m. Calling number is 404-436-1277. I'm EJ Stewart, one half of the Speakeasy, the sophisticated Savage One. Today's broadcast was brought to you in part by the brand new reality series, Chase the Dream Baltimore. Watch a group of talented recording artists navigate through life, love, and entertainment business. New episodes stream every Monday at 12 noon on YouTube, or visit facebook.com/Chase the Dream now. If you're at work and you're bored, you got one of them desk jobs, click on there. I'm pretty sure it's going to be something wild, knowing everybody that's involved. Radio on Fire broadcasts reach over 278,000 viewers per month. Advertise your product, service, or event on Radio on Fire by sponsoring an episode specifically of Speakeasy or any of the other shows. So I'm a fan of many of the other shows. I'm not a hater. For as low as $50. Visit radioonfire.com/promo to get started. If you want to see any past episodes of Speakeasy or any other show, visit radioonfire.com to watch us on demand. Click radio shows in the name of our show to see any episode you've missed. Got that out the way, goddammit. Diamond K, it's a cold-ass Thursday. I did my last show completely sober, for the record. I usually drink and have a little something after the work day, and I come on and I do my thing. But I did last show very sober. The problem is that I drank today, and it's a little bit of time since then. But how you feeling, man? It's cold as shit out here. You don't have your mic ready. Diamond K's bullshitting. He don't have his mic ready. But yeah, I'm always put him on point. How you feeling today?
Yeah, I'm good.
You good? You good today? Diamond K is dressed to impress. Got the part laid out, and he's fresh. Man, today is a special episode for me, primarily because I'm kicking off. Somehow, some way, I don't have a consistency to this, but I'm kicking off the Black Male Empowerment Series. And, a lot that's going on in society today with sexual harassment, with discrimination, with racism. The reality of the fact is, statistically, when you look at education, we look at violence, we look at death, we look at all of the statistics, and just going outside of your door, black males out here, we are kind of losing. And if you don't pay attention to the people that are winning it, and I'm not talking about being a millionaire or a thousandaire, I'm talking about people doing positive things, we may lose sight of the overall goal. So kicking off my Black Male Empowerment Series, I have a good friend, a brother that I grew up with since middle school, man. Wild child, wild style. My good brother Kareem McKnight, who is not in studio today, but we got him on the phone. Kareem, what's going on?
What's going on, brother? How you doing today?
All is well, man. All is well, man. I'm just happy.
Thank you for having me, man. Thank you for having me.
No doubt. No other way, man. I'm just happy to have you. Kareem, I grew up with you. We didn't live in the same, walking distance neighborhood, but we went to the same school, teammates, solid brothers since the day I met you till now. You're a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. I mean,
I gotta shout out, to my brothers out there.
You gotta kind of relax. Sir. You gotta kind of relax, but nah, that's dope, man. And I mean, I've known you for man since 1998, probably. For the people that don't know you, who is Kareem McKnight? Like, tell us where you come from, where you been, real quick.
Yeah, man, real quick, man. I was born in Brooklyn, New York. Raised by parents that were Jamaican, like many of us. We all came here for a better opportunity. My parents gave me a better opportunity by coming here, having me from Brooklyn, New York. Then with raised in Long Island. Shout out to Uniondale, U Strong all day, every day.
For sure.
And branched out for a better life because my parents gave me that opportunity, and I took advantage of that. And and that was only me. It's you. You as well too, man. So I'm very proud of you, E, for what you're doing. Keep up the great work. And like I said, we grew up in a society where it's nothing positive out there like it should be. You're always hearing about the negative. And I'm glad I heard about you being on the radio, and I think this would be a good time to get out a positive story out there,
No, and one thing, I don't forget a lot of things. My memory is very shaky at times, is very selective. But one thing I always remembered, we had a very strong Caribbean, Hispanic base, environment. You were one of the people that said, look, I came from this, but you are always on a positive level to be like, yo, I'm here. I need to big up. I need to do better. You are very crazy. I want to let you know that you're very crazy. You're very crazy.
We have to be. We all were. That's what made me.
Yeah, we all had to be crazy.
You had you're crazy in your own way. You know what I'm saying? I was crazy my own. Just showed a certain standard. You know what I mean? And it showed out.
No doubt. But I always bigged you up for always. People that had family that came from somewhere or wasn't from there. You never was like, I'm from Brooklyn. I was born in Brooklyn. I'm this, I'm that. You were like, yo, wherever my heart is, my home is. And I always remember that. You always wore that on your sleeve. And I think that's what made you so real. And for me, man, it's crazy. This is off script for me. For me, it's crazy because like, somebody that was walking with me through my life, I'm able to big up you here, you're free, and you're doing good things, man. It's a blessing, from me to you to just see that you doing everything that you said you was going to do and more.
Man.
So going from that,
yes, sir.
We at Uniondale High School, which for people who don't know, Long Island, New York is a big geographical place. Factually, it houses the borough of Brooklyn and Queens. And then you have Nassau County, you have Suffolk County. And for where we grew up in Nassau County, which is a little bit outside of Queens, and town of Hempstead is the overall county. But then you have their own little particular cities, I guess, for lack of better words. You have Uniondale, you have Hempstead, you have Roosevelt. Uniondale, Hempstead, Roosevelt, Freeport, which is in our direct vicinity. And at first glance, you would think that everything that you hear about Long Island is $1 million houses, it's peachy keen, it's all of that. When it's really a lot of people that were smart enough to get out of the hood, that were from the hood, to try to make something better. So we're in a school district that is primarily black. Uniondale was once primarily white, but by the time we were there, it's primarily black. Football, basketball, and track are the major sports. Which we personally participated in football and track. Speaking about lacrosse, because we're going to get into lacrosse and why it's so special even for Baltimore, but how did you get into playing the sport of lacrosse?
Well, it's a crazy story. With a friend of mine that BJ, Byron Dudley, was walking through campus one day. We played football, maybe ran track or we wrestled during the winter, and during the springtime, we had nothing really to do. Maybe play baseball. Baseball was kind of boring to me. And he, came up to me like, Kareem, man, he had this big other ball, and he's like, man, you should try out, man. I'm like, what is this sport, man? And I always see, white people playing it, Caucasians playing it, and I learned about it, and I was like, I'm not interested. And one day, Coach Mankiewicz, one of our coaches you should know, came out to me and said, yo, Reem, we need you to go out on that field and try out for lacrosse. And I said, you know what? Like you said earlier, I'm always wanting to try new things. And when I went on that field, I saw all the guys that we looked up to playing, all the upperclassmen that we play play lacrosse.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and try this sport. And I did, and I went out and I tried the sport, and I loved it ever since I put my hands on that, went on that field. So that's how I started.
It's so crazy, man, because I grew up as a baseball player, and baseball was my first sport. So when everybody tried to recruit me for lacrosse, it was just blasphemy for me to do it. But I kind of look back, and I kind of wish that I did to some degree, because I felt like I would have taking it more seriously. I kind of would have tried to elevate it. And, you know, I looked up to you guys, man, even my peers and you being an older guy. Yo, you know, the lacrosse team, and I told you this off air, but, you know, you guys took a beating, you know what I mean, season-wise, win-wise. I mean, you guys delivered a lot of punishment. Like, I remember watching lacrosse games, and y'all sent a lot of cats out to the hospital. I'm like, yo, this game is kind of crazy. I mean, y'all would lose the game, but I felt like a lot of y'all found a lot of joy in just hurting people, but still playing the game. And it was such a strong bond and brotherhood with the lacrosse team that was just crazy. And, I mean, we all had different bonds, whether it was basketball, football, or track, and lacrosse was one of those things that it was kind of like the mafia, man. So, I mean, speaking to that, like, how was it playing as a black man in a white man's game at that time in high school?
So it is. It's like you said, we grew up playing football, we grew up playing basketball and track, you know what I mean? And how it was, man, it was really fun because, you know, even though we may have lost that game during that time, because during that time, the lacrosse was still primarily, you know, a white sport, you know. During that time, man, it was really fun because we were all learning games still. You know, it's just like picking up, you know, learning a math product, you know what I'm saying? Just going out there, trying to learn something, but understanding that we were still physical, we were still running faster, and guess what? You might beat us, but you're not going to out-hustle us.
Facts.
So at the end of the game, EJ, it was like, man, we lost, but I don't want to play those guys again. You know, I got to go visit my friend at the hospital because we laid the lumber.
Facts.
We laid the lumber.
I remember literally watching you guys shake hands with people. And, like, lacrosse to me, so first of all, we got to give a shout out to the historical part of lacrosse being a Native American game. But
yes, sir.
And Long Island lacrosse is God. Here in Maryland, they try to say differently, but stop it. Long Island lacrosse is God. But, you know, I remember seeing you guys. I would come to the games, and I remember seeing the other team, like, literally, like, show y'all so much respect. Because the physical aspect that y'all brought to it, man, y'all terrorized the league, yo. And y'all didn't win, but y'all terrorized the league. And I couldn't get it at the time. And I'm like, what's wrong with these dudes? But I understood, you know, we from the hood, so it's like you understand physicality. And so I guess them guys respected y'all, man. And that was, I remember looking at it till this day. I remember it was a dope feeling to see my brethren go out there, give it their all, you know, and still stick with it. You guys didn't have many people quit.
Yeah, not at all, because you know what it was like that brotherhood, you know. In Uniondale, that's why we were so strong, you know, that you strong, that bondhood, the people that we played football with, and we never let down, we never quit. You know, we were never quitters in life, you know, and that's why we're here. That's what we do. That's one thing I want to tell everybody, man. Whatever you believe in, if you believe in something, you're going to do something, do it 110%. So even though we weren't good at throwing and catching the ball, we had another talent, right? But then eventually, if you look at Uniondale now, you know, they possibly in the playoffs every season now. And that's what we started.
In lacrosse or football?
From now, if you look at what they're doing now, you know, Union's up there. They were ranked number 4 last year, and that was part of the story that we're going to talk about by the time I left Uniondale, I left a legacy being the first all-star in nearly 20 years from Uniondale.
So let me stop you. So in lacrosse right now, you're talking about they're going to be in lacrosse playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, Uniondale was in lacrosse playoffs last year, you know, these past 5 years, 6 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, they play Master People. They're beating Master People. They're beating these top schools now. Like, you know.
You're lying to me. You're lying to me because, you know, when I see things about the high school, you know, and it's wild because, you know, a lot of people don't know where we come from. You know, the metal detectors, the wands, the fights, the craziness that's going on. Lacrosse was the bastard son of all of our sports. And it's like, you telling me right now that they are on the cusp of playoffs when it's basketball season. This is winter track indoor basketball season for Unionville. You telling me that Unionville lacrosse is on the cusp of playoffs?
Well, right now, last year and the year before.
Well, last year, rather.
They made the playoffs, but right now they're starting right now the season. I'm actually a coaching volunteer,
That's
and
dope.
these boys are ready. And I'm going to bet that they're going to make the playoffs this year. And I'm super excited because of what I branded from back then when we started, when we couldn't pass and catch. And now, guess what? They're not only hitting, they're not only faster, now they're passing and catching, and that's why we are able to make the playoffs these last couple of years.
Yeah, you guys were kind of like outlaws of the whole league because y'all would be playing and y'all would have do-rags on, Jamaican flags on, Haitian flags on, Bayesian flags on. Rest in peace to Dennis Hale, my brother, Kenny Johnson. Kenny Johnson. Rest in peace to Kenny and Dennis. Two of our brethren that were Kenny was a psycho. I mean, I don't mean no disrespect, but Kenny was a psycho. I don't mean no disrespect, but Kenny was a psycho, man. Crazy only begat crazy, and he was a crazy dude, man, but an angel, and Dennis an angel too. But y'all dudes, man, when I look at the pictures of y'all guys, man, the do-rags, the flags, I'm like, yo, y'all were a nightmare. Like, y'all were not the ideal lacrosse team. When you look at lacrosse, first of all, when you talk about playing football, we played against guys that were quarterbacks that went to other schools. The Matt Danowskis. I'll never forget Matt Danowski. I played against him a little bit.
He's still playing though, coaching right now. I think he just retired from
lacrosse. Yeah, I played against him football-wise more than you, but he was a lacrosse legend by the standards of lacrosse, but I think he had a better advantage than you guys did. He wasn't more talented. He wasn't faster. He had the fundamentals, but he wasn't no better or worse than you guys in my book. And then when you look at a Danowski versus a guy like Byron, you know what I mean, 6'1", 6'2", Jamaican flag, wow. You guys, I never forget that time, man. I almost considered going there. So I'm like, I big you guys up for everything you did. Shout out to Will Barrow too.
Man.
Cat that killed himself.
Too, man.
Yeah.
Just want to make a quick point too, is because a lot of times, these lacrosse, like right now in Unionville, they're starting from the 4th and 5th and 6th grade.
Wow.
We started in the 10th grade.
Later than that.
03.
Yeah.
So we talk about these other guys from these other schools, Farmingdale and Baldwin. Guess what? They started playing from the 3rd grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They born with the lacrosse stick. They born with the lacrosse stick in the mother place.
Boy.
When you guys, I'm telling you, it's ironic. My older cousin who went to Freeport, I think in the late 70s, I think he was all Long Island. Don't quote me, but he went to Ohio State on a full lacrosse scholarship. But you talking about a sport that was foreign to me. I've never seen something like that before I met you guys. You know what I'm saying? So now you telling me that people are starting at 4th and 5th grade? That's we couldn't
I'm part of that legacy. I'm part of that coach. I coach, these guys, and they're good, man. Compared to how we were when we were coming up, they're really good.
I couldn't even imagine it. But switching gears, man. I mean, it's funny because how life rolls out. I'm in Baltimore City. I'm in your second home away from home.
Yeah,
you wound up
Morgan State, baby, Morgan State.
You gotta chill. How did you wind up here in Baltimore and Morgan, and what did you do while you were here at Morgan?
Well, it's a crazy story, man. I ended up there. High school sweetheart was there. And I felt like I needed to get away from home. I felt it was important to do my research, that it was important for me to grow as a man by getting away, going to school, and this, learning how it is this responsibility where your parents are not there and you're not telling you what to do. You're just kind of learning things as you go. And I ended up going to Morgan, and I knew that I wanted to do something in business, but one thing I didn't know is that I thought they had a lacrosse team. By doing my research and found out that they did not have a lacrosse team, but Morgan State was the first ever historically black college to ever have a black college lacrosse team playing the NCAA.
And that's big. That's major, man. And when you're talking about that, we're talking about the 10 Bears that was in the 70s. And I mean, I know you can spit this like information, but what made this 10 Bears significant?
What it was when they played, the 10 Bears, when they played, is like Morgan was known for basketball and football, just like how we were when we were at Uniondale, you know?
Right.
So what made them so unique is that they were the only black team. And on that field, you know, with those 10 Bears, there was, you know, racial slurs that were thrown at them at a time where we were trying to get equality in life. So that's what makes it so unique and the story so epic, is because these guys played hard, they thumped down, and they told them at the end of that game, and even if they lost that game, even though they beat the number one team, William Lee, back in the days as well too, that was ranked number one, they believed that this would be something in the future, which I'm part of now.
Yes.
That would be something that would be epic, even though Morgan got rid of their, you know, because couldn't afford the team back in the days. And they had a choice in between football and lacrosse, and it hurt them. But that's why when I read that story and I went to Morgan, EJ, and I was like, man, this is what they did. And from 1981 until 2005, they still don't have a team, and I'm here.
Right.
Now we got to change this, and that's where I came.
So before I get into that, I mean, just talking about the 10 Bears, historically, they beat William and Mary, which is a Virginia private school, I believe, which was number one at the time.
Yeah, number one at the time.
So the 10 Bears at Morgan State University beat the number one lacrosse team in the 70s as a historically black college that wasn't even getting their program funded. Probably whatever, who knows, whatever, beat them. Fast forward, you're at Morgan, lacrosse is in your blood. You done messed up. You didn't realize lacrosse is not here. You are now like, I need to do something. What did you do, and how was that process?
Well, man, I tell you, man, it was a process. And, you know, like you say, it's my first appearance in life and anything you believe in. I believe that if there's a way, there's a will, you can do it. And what I did is shout out to my boy, Mick Waters, who was from Baltimore, who was a defenseman, and I met in the class one day, and we're talking about, hey, you know, who are you, what do you do? And he was like, you know, I play lacrosse, and I play lacrosse. So we got together one day, we just started walking around campus with our lacrosse sticks, man. And before you know it, make a long story short, it was 4 or 5, 6 players, EJ. Before you know it, they had about like 30 to 40 people playing lacrosse. Some knew, some don't know, some knew, you know, some knew how to play lacrosse, and now we got Morgan playing lacrosse again back on campus. But guess what? You know, guess what? It was hard. It was really, really hard because Morgan would say, hey, you know what? What's going on? We don't got the money for this. So with that said, you know, we reached out to some of the alumni from the 10 Bears. Hey, listen, Morgan's still not trying to hear about it, but you know what? We're going to still persevere to a point where we need your help. And then we got together and they helped us out. They coached us. And, you know, we were able to contact Howard University, which is the HBCU in Washington, D.C. Everybody should know who they are. And they had a team, and the school recognized them. And we reached out to them and said, hey, listen, we want to play you guys in the first ever historically black college game. And that's where the Black Lax come in, EJ. And I can make you start there. The Black Lax.
Yes, so the Black Lax, and when I saw that, so Black Lax is BLAXLAX, which is which stems from the 10 Bears, and it's to promote lacrosse in the Baltimore community. Now I'm gonna tell you, man, you know, I've been paying attention to lacrosse since I've been out here, and I want to say since 2010 to now, I've seen kids walking around in the summertime in the streets with lacrosse sticks doing that bullshit y'all used to do, cradling, you know, and it's growing. And the reality is, a lot of the private schools here have it. A lot of the other schools have it. I mean, I know Dunbar, which is a major school, I think is building that, but it's another sport that we are as a people culturally, and I always say this, not trying to discriminate on any other ethnicity, but when our black and brown people get involved, we're gonna get involved. And I can tell you, man, within the last 5 years, I don't know that Black Lax is involved, but I would like to believe they are behind the scenes. There's been an uptick seriously in the lacrosse scene, man. And you haven't been here, but I'm telling you, the fruits of y'all labor is going on.
Yeah, I think it's important because Black Lax kind of, or the 10 Bears kind of started it. That's why it's so important. I think if lacrosse wants to get to where it wants to get to, like I said, it's not about whether you're black or you're white. You have to have everybody. And what it was, it just had one particular race. And I think it was important to diverse the game. Diverse the game, let the game grow, and from Black Lax to Morgan State lacrosse to even Jamaica lacrosse. Now it was important that the game grows, and now that's what it's doing.
We ain't gonna get to that yet, but I mean, I think to piggyback off of that, I think it's important in the sense that when you're talking about ethnically, our culture, we need 3 sports a season. That's the only reason you and I graduated out of Unionville and then further. We had football, we had track, we had wrestling, or we had football, we had track, we had lacrosse, or we had football, we had soccer, we had lacrosse, or we had football, basketball, we had track. Black males, black and brown males, because we grew up with a lot of both of the same. I'm not gonna talk about the violent scraps that we had on the Lawrence Road lawn, but we grew up with all of that, and it was almost crazy because we decided not to indulge and engage in things because of practice, and brothers need something all day long. I feel like your side of town had a lot more people that were in school enrolled. My side of town had a little less, but I had more people encouraging me to do something all year round. And I stopped taking baseball seriously. And there were days that I wish I took lacrosse seriously, and there were times that I could have been doing more that I just sat and watched y'all play. But speaking with the connection, which is crazy, I noticed that Theophilus Theo Wells, who went to Baltimore, who went to Morgan, shout him out. What role did Theo play, and how did that make you feel knowing that you were virtually his OG in the role that he played?
Well, that's why the connection. That's why this is why I want to get the story out, and how it was just how things connected in a way where Theo came as a transfer to Morgan State University, and we were still having that issue where we wanted Morgan to recognize Morgan State Lacrosse Club. And Theo took upon himself to sit down, go to different interviews, write out everything that we needed to do, and guess what? It got done. And big shout out to Theo for doing what he did. And finally in 2007, we got the recognition by Morgan State University to be an official club organization. 2007, big year. Recognize where we can do what we want to do. We can wear Morgan State gear now on the field with that. Because before we recognized, we had to wear backpacks. If you look at the pictures that we had for the first game on official Howard Morgan State, which by the way Morgan won 13-9.
Wow.
We couldn't wear Morgan State gear. We had to
so
wear
y'all beat while y'all were unofficial as a club team. Y'all beat Howard 13-0.
Yeah, 13-9. Sorry, 13-9. 13-9.
13-9. I mean, that was. I'm trying not to be foul, but I'll go in regardless. I'd have left it at 13-0. I don't care. But 13-9, 13-9. I get it. All right. Okay. Respect. Close game. Couple breakaways. I get it. Yeah. That's dope.
Yeah. So that was, and by the way, of course, the biggest hit of that game was by your boy Kareem, where the crowd went crazy.
I already know.
Turned around and boom, he had a hit.
Listen, man,
And,
I already know.
The game, you know, you got to hit of the game, baby.
Listen, I experienced it, and I'm gonna be candid. I remember when I was in 7th grade, you was 8th grade. You know, you were a linebacker, and I was like a running back or something, and you lit me up. That's probably, you know, if we talking about CTE, that's probably the first concussion I ever got. But I remember later on in life, I had something for your ass, and you ain't had nothing for me no more. But I remember from that point, I remember from that point on, I was like, nobody gonna get me like that. Never again. I will never forget it. You had the ugliest, protruding, most disgusting jailbird face mask on earth. And you hit hard. You hit hard. And I was like, yo, I'm never getting smacked like this again, y'all. For real. And I never forget it, man. I remember the days like when we was on defense and I ran back. Yo, it's so many stories, man.
So many stories, man.
It's just crazy. Like, and I remember even from years ago when you were working with the bank and you came to my house. And like, even though we haven't been together every day, it's like we never lost a step.
Yeah,
never lost a step, man. Never lost a step. But you Jamaican.
What?
You Jamaican, and I never knew that Jamaicans play lacrosse outside of you and BJ. But apparently, you guys have a national Jamaican team. What is going on with the Jamaican lacrosse team? What's going on?
So, graduated, finance degree. Now, by the way, to piggyback real quick off of Morgan, Morgan is still active today.
Yes.
And Morgan is still doing big things. Shout out to Hampton University, who's doing their thing.
Yes.
Who actually got, you know, first team part of the NCAA now, and we're looking for Morgan to do that as well too.
Yes.
But going to Jamaica lacrosse, man, let me tell you, sitting at home one day, and my coach texted me, like, the current coach, shout out to the coach Charles right now, who's the head coach of the lacrosse team at Uniondale. And do you know that Jamaica lacrosse? And I said, what? So I got involved, and I just, you know, reached out and, you know, wasn't really getting into contact that nobody knows Kareem, the Jamaican, you know, lacrosse player. And I'm saying, nobody knows my story. And I reached out to them. I found out that they were having they were trying to play in the World Games. And they were having tryouts. And I was like, what? Jamaica tryouts? Got to be there. And, you know, that's why I was super excited about doing that.
But at the time, initially, though, you had hurt your knee. At some point, you had an injury.
Yeah, so what happened is when I found out about Jamaica lacrosse, they gave us about 3 weeks when I found out they had tryouts. So I was getting, you know, wasn't in top-notch shape like I was back in Uniondale or at Morgan, so I had to get myself, mind, and body ready.
Just FYI, you were never in great shape. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, within that 3 weeks, I was doing 3 days, man. I was working on in the morning, afternoon, and I was working at night. And I ended up hurting my knee. And, you know, I was really disappointed because, you know, Jamaican coach didn't know me, and we needed to say, hey. And at the time,
come back again. You lost me.
those videos that I had to put together, but I didn't have it. So,
at the time, hold up. You said at the time what we lost you a little bit, the service. Why? You said at the time what happened?
Yeah, at the time, you know, I didn't have the highlight tape for Morgan.
Right,
you know, highlighting my plays from Morgan, you know, from beating Hampton and beating Howard University and beating all these schools. And I didn't have the tape. And, you know, so I had my injury and I had no other choice but to show up 3 weeks later injured. But right before then, we had the death in our community that we had of the 3 people, which you can piggyback up and talk about as well too.
Yeah, no, definitely, and you know, you guys put on, and that's definitely dope to, you know, you guys when you're talking about New York community, man. I mean, you know, we had such a Caribbean just plethora of people, whether it's Hispanic or Caribbean. And anytime I, you know, think Jamaican, I mean, I have Jamaican roots in my family, but, you know, anything that I have is Caribbean-wise, Panamanian, and St. Thomas. But there's some Jamaican family there. But, you know, you guys were the New York driving culture. And even what I see what you guys are doing back there now with the clubs and everything, you guys are big time right now. So I wasn't surprised that you got on the scene with that, man. But, you know, it's crazy. Ironically, this weekend is what conference and what is Team Jamaica doing fundraising wise in Baltimore City?
So before we get into that, the fundraising is very important. You know, they're getting prepared for what we call the World Games, which is basically the Olympics in Israel in July 2018. And we're doing a fundraiser coming up soon. Actually, this weekend because they have a
January 20th
conference.
Yes.
And if they go to my page, you can look me up, Kareem Chuyardi. It's all over my page. And they can actually go there. They can go to my page. I have a GoFundMe page. It's actually for mental illness as well, because part of it, me, you know, getting hurt, it was going through a lot, and because I was going, you know, as far as, you know, what happened in our community with, you know, people dying and stuff like that. So during the time of the tryouts, I'm not only going through an injury, but I'm going through something mentally as well too. And I just persevered and, you know, called them, spoke to them, let them know, listen, we're part of the team. And they allowed me to get my jersey and to help them out, and super excited about that. Now, the main goal is to raise funds for Jamaica lacrosse. Now, on top of that, you know, they have gear that they can buy. They have sunglasses that they can buy. They have a lot of things that's going to get them to the World Games. And it's not just about just getting to the World Games. We want to make a splash and show them that Jamaica lacrosse can ball out as well, too.
I think you guys, you know, just knowing, I mean, because y'all the first Jamaicans I knew that could play lacrosse. Y'all the first Jamaicans that introduced lacrosse to me to a degree. And I'm going to be busy this weekend, but I think I'm going to try to do something. The first event is going to be at Pickles Pub, which is outside of Oriole Stadium. And then the second event is at Bandito's. All you can drink for 40 hours. I'm not going to that because I'm not messing with the all you can drink type of flavor. But, you know, I have my girls this weekend, man. But if I get there, man, you know, that's really dope. And if you're going to be in town, man, I really would love, you know, to kick it with you. I'm sorry, I just burped. But, man, it's definitely an honor. It's definitely dope, man. And I'm just proud of you, man, for real, because, you know, this was something foreign to us. You know, we grew up at different sides of the town, but, you know, school brought us together at all times. And, you know, lacrosse was always something that I always was like, I should think about it and do it. But you guys took it to the max, man. And I definitely got to big you up, man. So we're definitely going to promote you. We're definitely going to big it up. And when you down here, man, on a Thursday, we got to get you on the show, man. Talk about some other things.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, man. It's not about just sports, man, but the lacrosse itself built me from that little boy from, you know, Jamaica. And that's why the story is called From Jamaica to Jamaica. Because I was a little boy whose parents took him to Jamaica to learn about the roots. Now helping Jamaica get to the World Games, man. And, definitely look forward to seeing you, EJ, man. Love you, my brother, from another mother. And a shout out to everybody out there. God is good. Just believe in whatever you do. Always persevere, and you will always see it through.
Shout them out, Q. Shout them out. We're going to take a quick break. I got to pee. But we're going to end with our quick hits, But it's definitely been a pleasure. And we appreciate you, man.
All right, man. Holla at you, EJ. Shout out to the Brewers.
You got to relax.
Peace.